Shelby with the Country Living Homestead. Today, I'm going to see if I can manage to put up this new duck fencing, so stay tuned. So before I lost Lou, him and I came out here to the duck pen last year and we replaced most of the fencing. You can see where we have that bundle of electric net fencing that comes over and covers this half of the duck run. That's what I need to replace today. The other stuff that's back here and around this side, that was what we replaced last year, and that's all new. I just had to put on a few new zip ties due to the heavy snow load that we had last winter, but other than that, that's holding fine. So I did manage to get this T-post out of the ground. That was step one. I needed to move it a little bit closer to where this gate closes because I had a gap in there that ducks were sneaking out. So I'm going to put that T-post back in a little bit closer, and then I need to just remove this old, basically it was just a chicken wire fence that we had up. So I need to cut that off the T-posts. I should just be able to leave the T-posts in the ground and use those for the new fence. So we'll see how it goes. All right, so I got this T-post in. I might drive it in just a little bit further, but it's made the gap small enough now that the door can still, or the gate can still open, but ducks won't be able to escape. Okay, so I'm starting to attach the fence to the first T-post. Up at the top, I'm actually using a heavy-duty zip tie. It's rated for something like 120 pounds or more, and I'm doing that because most of the ones up on the top snapped during the last snowstorm, so I'm hoping that that will make it a little bit sturdier. Before fall, I might come around and put some metal closures on these just to hold it on even better, but for now I have zip ties, so that's what I'm using. So I just have to finish attaching it down the rest of the post, and then it'll be on to the next. I'm just using the regular ordinary zip ties to attach it the rest of the way down. It looks like it's on there pretty good, so I'm going to go ahead and go to the next T-post. All right, it looks like my fencing is bent out of shape a little bit, but that's okay. It's still going to serve the purpose, so I'm just going to go ahead and use it anyway. Okay, this next part's going to be a little tricky because I don't have anyone to pull this tight for me, so I'm going to go ahead and try to use this old stick. It's pretty thick. Best fence job in the world, but it'll keep the ducks in. And the fact that it is bent is making it a little bit trickier to get it to be really tight too, but that's okay. This isn't about being perfect. This is about getting it done and doing it to the best of my ability. All right, it's looking like this piece of chicken wire fencing is pretty hung up down there on some roots. So I'm gonna try to break it loose. Guess that's why. I'm finding it easiest to unroll this fencing in such a way that it's kind of gripping around the T-post. So that's helpful, holding it there in place until I can tighten it up with my stick and get my zip ties in. All right, so this is where my first roll ran out. So what I'm going to try to do is join this fence post, or this fence piece, to the other one right here at the T-post, and secure it with some zip ties. Hopefully that'll make a seamless transition. And I won't have to worry about any ducks or predators sneaking in where I've had to piece them together. So it looks like that's going to work pretty well. So yeah. All right, I got this side of the fencing done. I still have the piece to do across the back. However, I am out of fencing. I just have a little bit left and it's not going to be enough to do that. So I'm going to have to go to Tractor Supply tomorrow and get another roll of fencing, and I'll be able to finish this up. So I'll see you tomorrow. Well, it's finally here, moving day for the baby chicks. Today, these little chicks are going to be going out into their chicken coop for the first time. They're not fully feathered out, but they do have quite a few feathers. I'm going to be taking the toe out into the coop as well. And what I'm going to do is remove these shavings, pack this tote with straw, and that should keep them pretty warm out there. So here we go, moving day. All right, so I have the setup already. I have the box lined with a good amount of straw. Their food and water is in here ready to go. So now it's time to go grab the chicks. So these chicks are outgrowing this tote pretty quickly, but I'm just gonna keep them in here for a day or two so they stay close together and keep each other warm until they can adjust to the outdoor temps, because it is a little bit cooler out here than what it is in the house. Although they have been off their heated water bottle and everything for over a week now, and they haven't been next to the wood stove. So I've been slowly acclimating them to the cooler temps. So we still have 20 out of the 20 chicks that we started with, and we have had 0 cases of pasty butt. So happy to report that. Now, one more thing I am going to do, I've been keeping this tote covered even when it was in the house with a blanket about 3/4 of the way across the top. So I'm going to do that again out here until they acclimate to these cooler temps. It looks like they're all set. I will come out and check on them a couple of times today just to make sure they're staying warm enough. But so far, they look pretty happy. Hey everyone, I thought I would do a quick update on the chicks. As you can see, they are feathering out wonderfully. They've been out here for about 5 days in the coop, and they're doing absolutely wonderful. No problems. It's the next day. I'm back. I have a new roll of fencing, so I'm going to go ahead, take down this electric net fencing, and get the rest of the fencing up. It's just about 3/4 of the way down that I need to do on this, and then the fencing will be complete. So I'm going to go ahead and get started. Trying to take this down a little bit at a time so my ducks don't come running out of here and get all over the yard. Stuff really, this chicken wire fence really grows into the weeds, that's for sure. Just a disclaimer, this is definitely not a tutorial on how to do fencing. This is just the way that I'm doing it. So since this isn't enough to go the rest of the way, I'm going to just snip it off right here so I can start the new piece and attach it right to this post. That way I won't have any gaps. Definitely not as good of a job as my husband would have been able to do. Thanks so much for stopping by the homestead, everybody. I hope you have a great weekend.